So what we're getting ready to do, probably gonna drop for muttons and stuff like that, as well as we're flying this kite. So you got your long, mid, and short. This kite right there goes onto the end of this snap swivel right here. And when I send it out, I'm gonna hold these clips. These clips have swivels, or what we like to call whips. You know, like on our tournament, stuff like that, on mono, we like to tie a wax line. And they're from 150 foot from the kite to the first clip. And then from each clip to the next, it's 100 foot. So once I have the kite out there and bank to the right, you're gonna have your indicators, which are these right here. It's your standard cork. You want your biggest bait on your long with all your weight, so it drops easier and stuff like that. You wanna be fishing your bait within a foot of the surface. Anything deeper, you'll probably get cut off. Anything out of the water is obviously no good. Can't breathe. So when I bridle my baits, I'm gonna shove a needle through the bait with a rubber band on the end of it. So I'm gonna have that rubber band on the end of the hook, shove the needle through the bait, put the hook back through it, twist a couple times and shove it back through and send out my bait. When I start fishing them, I'm gonna have all these with 15-foot leaders. We don't like to practice with the same stuff that we use in a tournament, you know, IGFA 15-foot leaders, no longer than a 2-foot bimini, stuff like that. So maybe suspending these baits. So let's say a sailfish came in on my right short or my right mid, started kind of walking off. I'm gonna feed him, and when he comes tight, that pressure is gonna pop that line out of the kite off of these pressure clips. You'll be down and tight to that sailfish, and as he's walking this way, let's say we had another spread, that guy can reel up all of his baits out of the water, let that fish pass, drop it back down, be fishing. You know, you're still fishing 5 baits while you're hooked up to that one. That's kind of the gist of kite fishing. It's really cool. Got the kite up, adjusted how I want it. I'm gonna take these baits, shove a needle through them with this rubber band, pop that off, twisty twisty, shove it right back through, send that bait. I'm gonna take my needle and shove it right there. Get ready on my mid. Sick. Want to always make sure whatever rods you're sending are always in free spool. Shove that in like so. There goes my mid. Now I'm going to send this to like where my short's sitting at. And I'm going to lock it up, raise those 2 baits, and then bridle our final. $176. reel. Needle, put a band in it. It's got a little groove right there, but we file them down and kind of press them in so when it goes through the bait, it doesn't really rip that bait wide open. Take my bait, be real nice and easy with them. Shove that needle through. Take my hook, go through that band. It's always a good idea to hold your hook too in case that rubber band breaks, so then you're not stranded out there. Back through the hook like so, twist, go right back through. You see that little pop. Then I can sit my bait. You want to be real nice and easy with them too. I like to bridle mine different. Sometimes I like to bridle him through the nose if we're covering a lot of ground. Just because if he's trying to cover a lot of ground or the current's smoking or whatever it may be, it's a lot of pressure on these baits. You know, getting drug around. If I bridle him by the top of his back, how we like to do it, you're literally pulling them by their spine up and out of the water and smacking each wave. So like today, since we're kind of covering some ground, I'll bridle my long and my mid through the nose, just so they're kind of, think of it like trolling almost, but from there. So my short is actually bridled through the bait. You'll be able to see that. Like if I raise my short right now, you can see him kicking rooster tails on the surface. But basically, me and him like to fish it like a tournament. Non-stop working these reels, making sure each indicator is in a straight line and perfectly out of the water. You know, you got a foot that you're working with, that you're fishing really good. It's like my indicators are all in a straight line right now. If you look at those, let's say a sailfish eats my short. Sailfish are notorious for holding that bait sideways in their mouth. So if he starts screaming, okay, you got a sailfish on your right mid, I'm gonna pick up my rod, I'm gonna free spool it, and wait till I know that he's got it. I'm gonna go on him, reel as fast as I can until it pops out of that clip, and then raise my other baits for that fish to move through without getting wrapped up in everything else. Kite fishing's really, really, really good if you know what you're doing. If you can go everything smoothly, it's one of the most effective ways to catch these trophy fish. Wahoo, sailfish, mahi, tunas, anything and everything cool basically that eats a kite bait is gonna be pretty cool. Run wrong move though, basically to the dock. Crash a kite, get tangled, whatever it may be, especially if we're doing a normal and flying two spreads. You know, you'll bank one out to the right and real low. You don't want your kite to be straight up in the air. Now, you got different colored kites for different windages. Like on a day if it's blowing like 30 in a tournament or something and we gotta send them, I got these things called black holy kites. There'll be like 42 holes in them so that wind can kind of disperse through it. Well, these white kites, extra big for days like today where it's barely blowing. Got a kite bridle on it.